All right, WSSU Ram Nation. I just took a deep breath. I need you to take a deep breath. Because some of us right now have lost our Ram minds. We just have. So, as soon as the news that Connell Maynor dropped, as soon as I wrote it at HBCU game day, actually, even as soon as I heard it, I already knew that this was going to happen. Folks wondering if we could spin the block and get Connell Maynor back. I get it. I get it. I get it. I understand. I'm going to give you some reasons why people would feel that way, why I understand that. And I'm also going to give you some reasons why spinning the block might not be the best idea for either side. But we'll talk about that on the other side of the intro. Let's go. What's up, WSSU Ram Nation? This is SJG. Appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Please go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 500 by the end of the month. Finish off this year strong going into 2025 because we have a lot to talk about next year for sure. So please go ahead and do that. And let me know, hit me a comment. Let me know who's watching to, again, help the channel get up and running. All right, so we're here to talk about Connell Maynor. All right. So for the uninitiated, Connell Maynor is back in 1987. He joined the football team at WSSU, led WSSU to a CIAA championship. Then he followed his coach Bill Hayes to that school down the road in East Greensboro. You know the one that I'm talking about. They wear blue and gold. They do a lot of barking, all of that stuff. He went over there. They won some championships. He went on to have a pro football career. Became an assistant coach at Fayetteville State, offensive coordinator, helped him win some championships. Very nice. So Bill Hayes gets hired as the AD, and he brings in Connell Maynor as head coach. Rookie head coach, never been a head coach before, and the rest, as they say, is history.
I'm excited. I'm enthusiastic. I'm ready to get to work. Excited about meeting the players. I've been in their shoes, you know. I'm sitting in the seats that they're sitting in. I've been to the classes they're going to. So long-term goals to get these graduation rates up, develop young men, fathers, and leaders in the community. When we do that, we'll win football games, and we're going to win championships. Our team goals, short-term, win our next game. Long-term goals is to win the Division II National Championship. I got some big shoes to fill, but I'm ready for the task.
This man came to WSSU and took WSSU by storm. From 2010, when he was hired, until 2013, he led the team to 42 wins and just 6 losses. Yes, 42-6 in that many years. So obviously a great run of success. Not only did they have success, they won back-to-back championships in 2010 and 2011 and 2012. Both of those were undefeated regular seasons, meaning they did not lose until they went into the playoffs. They won 13 games in 2011 and 14 games in 2012 going to the national championship. Everything that you could think of WSSU had going for itself. They had All-Americans. Attendance was great. Homecoming was packed. I mean, they had a super fun offense. They had a defense that was bone crushing, and WSSU football looked like a D1 operating in D2 for a long time. And so Connell Maynor was here. It was great. Everybody was in love with it. And then, of course, as it usually happens at any smaller school, the bigger schools came knocking. He ended up going over to Hampton.
Connell Maynor, who HU lured away from Winston-Salem State. There he took a 1-10 program to the NCAA championship game in just 3 years, while along the way won 45 of his 51 games. He turned Winston-Salem into a football powerhouse and vows to do the same at Hampton.
Spent a couple years at Hampton. You know, they paid him very well. He got paid well over at WSSU, very well. More, really good money for a Division II coach. But ultimately, he went over and got that Division I money at Hampton. He was there for a couple years, never was able to make anything happen. Then he went over to Alabama A&M, got them a spring championship, and now he's gone after 8 years. So that's just to get everybody up to speed. So if you know the story, Thanks for bearing with me. That's for maybe some of the younger folks who don't know. Again, it was a thing of beauty. Check out the videos, all of that. So, back to then the present. WSSU. Why would WSSU want Connell Maynor back? So, obviously, number one is the success that I just spoke about. The level of success that he had over his tenure at WSSU, unprecedented. And this is a place where we've won a lot, but those years were dominant years. Most of the wins were dominant and emphatic, and it was just like being on like a roller coaster. And so the success was there. And not only was the success there, again, Maynor ball was fun. It just was. You know, he was a former quarterback, and so he liked to throw the ball. And so he had the quarterbacks. He had Cam Smith, who broke all the records in the passing game, broke a lot of Will Berry's records, playing in a more pass-happy offense. Outstanding passer there. Anthony Carruthers, his backup, did great, won some playoff games and CIAA championship for him. Even Rudy Johnson, his last year, very excellent. They threw for a lot. Jameezy Mazzy, so many great players there. And they could also run the ball. And, it was just a fun way of playing football. And not only that, they also didn't have a problem not only beating up on the CIAA, but also against PWIs. A lot of times in the CIAA and HBCUs, we'll kind of beat up on each other and then get into the playoffs and kind of be deer in the headlights. That was never the situation for WSSU under Maynor. It didn't matter who they played, whether it was Fayetteville State or UNC Pembroke or Shippensburg or IUP in the playoffs. They always looked like they belonged on that field, and, that was amazing. So, again, Maynor ball was successful. It was fun. We haven't had an offense that has been fun like that since Maynor left. There were some good offenses a couple of years, and then we've had some really bad years of offense. And let's be honest, offense sells tickets, and we need all the ticket selling we can get. Let's be for real. But so there's that. And then thirdly, not only was he successful on the field, not only did his teams have a swagger and success, but Connell Maynor, seemed to understand and embrace WSSU culture. WSSU, there's HBCU culture, which is great, and then there is WSSU culture. And it's our own thing, and, he just got it. He just got it from his time here. I understand he has some relatives that went here as well. So, even though he got his degree down the way, he was able to kind of fit in, and people embraced him. And not only was he great with fans and students and alumni, he was also great with the media as well.
Yeah, Connell Maynor, the Winston-Salem State football coach. Maynor and the Rams kicking off the season Thursday night at UNC Pembroke, and Mr. Entertainment was sure on a roll today.
Connell Maynor can light up a room. And when it's time for his weekly press conference, it's showtime.
Believe it or not, I probably still got some Connell Maynor haters out there, and I'm 35-4. So they probably wait for me to go 7-4 and say get rid of him.
You watch some of the clips, and the media guys were just, they're not supposed to be, but they were just as big fans of Connell Maynor as anybody else.
He's got a lot of confidence. You got to love that, right?
Connell, I challenge you at ping pong, though.
Okay.
Bring it
there
on.
you go.
Yeah.
I'll take him at badminton.
Is he funny or what?
He's hilarious, and you're right. He's turned the program around.
So it was just an exciting, fun time, and all of that great stuff. And so those are reasons why you could make it, and contrast that to what we've seen in the last couple of years. We haven't been winning. Our offensive execution has been sporadic at best, and there were times, and when I say times, I mean seasons, where it was just plain downright ugly.
Girl, I got a reputation. I have a reputation to uphold. Now, do I look like I'd be attracted to somebody like that?
There's a lot of reasons why people would want him back. I get it. It makes sense. Now, the other side to that is
Shit, man, yo, if this was the old days.
Yeah, now, well, the thing about the old days, they the old days.
The other side to that, let's get into that. So the other side of that is, things have changed. For one, WSSU, when he got the keys to the kingdom, was coming off of a Division I attempt, had a little bit more scholarships, and so a little bit more resources, and that's not our current situation. We're trying to get there, but that's not our current situation. And for one, it's really not a lot of people that go back and hire their old coach. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to be real. And this is me, maybe because I'm in the HBCU space and I see all these other fan bases. I can't think of too many fan bases that would think about rehiring another coach. I get it, again, for all the reasons why. I get it. But I couldn't even think about another hiring someone that previously was there and left as the head coach. Maybe there's an example. You could let me know. I think it has happened before, but in this day and age, I don't know. To be fawning over someone who just got fired for the second time in a decade is not it's not a great look to me. To me. So. And this isn't even an active. So this is another reason why. We still have an active coach, right? Coach Massey is our head coach. He had a 7-3 season this year, his best season ever, and his best season for here at WSSU. Didn't get the CIAA championship, but they're right there at the mark, and he has another year in his contract. And so the way these things work, he's got another year in his contract. The only way he doesn't come back is if we pay him to leave or he quits. And I don't see either of those happening at this point. Do you have new coach money? Because I don't got new coach money. Do you have new coach money? Especially after a 7-3 season. We'll talk a little bit later about why this 7-3 season is setting him up for a very interesting 2025. With that being said, but right now, Coach Massey, Robert Massey, is the head coach of WSSU. And so we're not in a position even to actually get a new head coach. So that's its own thing. And then 3, I think the third reason is, how do I put this? Again, a lot of the situations and circumstances that WSSU has faced, a lot of that WSSU had going for itself when Maynor was here previously, don't exist. Namely, for me, because I look at it, I really, as a student of HBCU sports and as someone who watches this evolve and who's taken notes about this, if you look at Connell Maynor since he's left WSSU, his success is he's kind of middle of the road coach. Excuse me, guys, I got a little in my throat. Kind of a middle of the road coach, and I look at what he had at WSSU, and he had Bill Hayes. I listened to a podcast the other day, Blue Death Valley podcast, where Bill Hayes was talking about when he was his AD, that Connell would come to him and say, "I need this, that, and the third." And he was like, "I already got it taken care of." Bill Hayes, a legend in the game, a college football legend, and he's been in a couple different places. He already knew what was up, so he was able to provide Maynor with a level of support that is hard to come by in HBCUs, but in college football overall. Like, if right now, there's a push for colleges to hire general managers at the FBS level. And those are guys who kind of take care of some of the things beyond the game as far as getting resources, as far as helping with facilitate a lot of different things. And that's pretty much what Bill Hayes did as AD. And Bill Hayes is no longer our AD. He left around the same time that Maynor left. And so, not to say that someone else couldn't step in and fill that role, but Bill Hayes is not on the AD here. And so, you know, without him there, his success hasn't been quite the same. Not saying it was dependent on it, but that is a factor to look at as you move forward. And now, you know, he's gotten used to Division I resources. You know, back in 2010, he was a hungry new coach. He had been at Fayetteville State. You know, not to say that he's not hungry anymore, but just a little bit, it's a different time and era. And I think that's really my whole thing with it is, you know, a lot of things in life were great in that moment. And they're there for a good time and not a long time. And I think that's kind of how I look at this situation. I'll just say I look at it like this. You know, WSSU and Connell Maynor have been good together. They've made a lot of memories together. But WSSU, he's left WSSU for you know, greener pastures multiple times, you know. And WSSU is you know, it's a special place, and I know he knows that, and we know that. And I think they had a special time together, and maybe some things are just best left in the past. I think Connell Maynor will bounce back. I do think he will be a head coach again. You know, whether that's this season, there's some openings in the CIAA and some other Division I schools. I don't know that a Division I school is going to give him a job opportunity at this point. He may have to go back to Division II, or he may go as a coordinator and get a shot again at some point soon. But, yeah, I just think what we had then, it was great. It was special. It was beautiful. And they'll write in the history books about it, and we'll look back on it, and his teams will be honored, and he'll be back. But as far as the day-to-day, I don't think that you can capture lightning in a bottle twice. We had lightning in a bottle. We had
on one in a million chance of a lifetime.
And I don't know that life is going to show us compassion and send to us a second time around of what we experienced from 2010 through 2013. So sometimes it's best to leave a faded picture in a broken glass. Put that mirror down. Stop revealing what some of y'all are feeling. And, you know, I think WSSU has a bright future, and Connell Maynor has a bright future as well. I just don't know that it's spinning the block. I don't know if it's going to turn into that Ashanti Nelly thing, or if it's going to turn into one of those other things. So those are my thoughts, just my thoughts and my thought processes. But let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think, you know, WSSU should stay put. If you think we should not be talking about this, I'm sure a lot of you people don't. And just kind of what your take is moving forward as we look ahead to 2025 for the football. Of course, basketball is still going on, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I appreciate everybody who's taking the time to get this far. If you got this far in the video, please hit that like button. And please let me know that you made it to the end of this video listening to me ramble. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much, WSSU Ram Nation. I love you. And, hey, we'll see you in the next one.